Are you wondering what the latest is on the wastewater project happening here in town? Well, today we sit down with Ryan Chase for all the details. Meet him next. Hi, my name is Lori Sullivan. I'm the communications manager for the town of Yarmouth. I'm sitting down with Ryan Chase. Hi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. Exciting to be here.
So in case people don't know, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the wastewater project, you're the assistant wastewater superintendent for the town.
Correct.
When did you get here, and what's your background?
So this past Tuesday will be 1 year officially that I've been here in the town of Yarmouth. I started in the town of Marion in wastewater operations, and then I would move to Barnstable, where I was there for a couple of years doing a similar position in wastewater.
Well, I know we're really happy to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Being part of this wastewater project. And as we know, it's an ongoing project that's going to be here for years to come. And some people may think that they haven't seen any progress because all that progress is really under the ground, right? All they see is the detours and the holes in the ground. They don't really understand that progress has been made. So can you give us a little detail about where we started from to where we're at and where we're going?
Sure. Well, yeah. Ultimately, when the progress is done, you won't know because it's all underground and it's buried. But we've made quite a bit of progress. We're still currently in phase one, but we've done a lot of work on our wastewater treatment facility. That's coming along quite nicely. We've also completed, for the large part, 2 of our contracts within phase one, with 2 contracts still currently ongoing and 1 contract that's out to bid right now.
And so this last contract where we're at now, can you explain to us what people can expect?
Yeah, so currently we're on Route 28 right now. We're in between the Parkers River Bridge and Winslow Gray Road right now. So right pretty much out in front of Cumberland Farms. That's where we'll be working for the large part for the next foreseeable future, working kind of foot by foot, heading towards that Winslow Gray intersection.
Why is this project so important? Because a lot of people might not understand the value this is really going to have. As frustrating as it may be to get around town, the value that it is going to have is great, right?
Yeah, well, things that, what people have seen for a long time now, which we've known, is that we've had a lot of nutrient loading in our waterways. And what we found is really that large portion of that, that contributes to that is septic systems. And because Cape Cod is essentially a big sandbar with sandy soils, everything leaches through quite easily, and that includes our septic, which goes into our waterways. And that's really, the large driving factor for our economy here is tourism and enjoying those waterways, and those have been largely affected by that nutrient loading.
And because this project affects everyone, residents, businesses, visitors, like you said, there's been a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. And you've been getting so many questions and concerns that you've been appointed the ombudsman of the project. Now, I had never heard that term before until a couple of months ago. So for those who don't know what that is, can you explain what an ombudsman does?
Sure. Yes, it's a term that most people haven't heard of before, but essentially what it is I'm the contact person for the town, for residents and businesses, to get their questions, comments, concerns answered.
So what are those, what questions are you getting mostly?
So a lot of it is, why are we doing the project? When can I hook up? Where will I hook up? How can I get from point A to point B? Pretty much everything in between that relates to what we're doing and the factors that come with the construction that's going on are the biggest questions that we get.
How do you respond to people's questions?
Generally, one question at a time, whether it's a call or an email or people stop by the office. But being involved in the project, part of the reason why I was appointed is just because we have meetings daily, weekly on progress, on issues that we're running into. So I generally have most of the answers that people are looking for, and I don't have all the answers, but if I don't, I know where to go and find them. So that's usually We take one question at a time and see if we can get it answered correctly.
So when you have updates for businesses, are you going door to door to let them know what is happening?
Yep, pretty much been to every business that we've currently had under contract, just to let them know what we're doing, what they can expect a little bit. It's a slow process, so we kind of give people a heads up that we will be coming. For most people, it's not as big a deal until it's really right in their front doorstep, quite
Right.
literally. But we like to give, people a heads up just on, some of the issues that they may face as the construction comes towards them.
And do you feel the feedback has been positive, you doing that?
I generally do feel the feedback has been positive. It's not an easy task. This is a large undertaking. It's the biggest infrastructure project I think the town of Yarmouth has ever really undertaken. So it is quite complicated, but I think it is nice for people, even though they don't always love the answers and,
Right.
love the inconveniences,
Right.
they do like to know what they can expect, and at least that way they can plan accordingly.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about this project?
I think the biggest misconception is really the why are we doing this? A lot of people say, geez, I have a septic system. I just put one in. I did my Title V, so, why are we really doing this? And again, it really just comes back to the environment. The overall environmental impact that it has here on Cape Cod is critically important. And it's not just the town of Yarmouth. It's every town
Yes.
in Cape Cod that's undertaking this. And because, like I said, of our sandy soils and the leaching that goes into our waterways, and because they are so important, our waterways here on Cape Cod, that's why we're doing it.
So if I have a business and I'm worried about construction coming down on my street, or I'm a resident and I'm worried about construction coming down my street, or I want just the updates, what is the best way to reach you?
There's a few different ways. You can call the office. The water department is where I'm located. You can email me, or you can stop in person. Those are three of the best ways to get in contact with me, and I can certainly come and take a visit at a particular residence or business, if they have certain specific questions about maybe where they want their stub, or maybe where their current line comes out of their building.
So they will have a say in that. That's
Correct.
Interesting to know.
Yes, they do. So we send out notifications to every business and resident before we get there. So that way, if they want to change something, we go based off of the health records of where the septics are currently located.
Okay.
But things change over time. So if people have other projects going on at their business or residence that they may feel like might affect where they want to have their line come out or get connected to, they certainly have a say in where that would go.
How long will it take for you to get back to somebody? So I'm calling you. Are you going to call me?
I'm
What's
trying
your-
to get back within the day.
Yeah.
So occasionally there might be, depending on when an email or a call comes in, but I think the most important part is to be, prompt with responses, because it's important to people, and, we don't want people to feel like they're not being heard. So I try to get back generally within a 24-hour period, if not sooner.
For those who want the updates and they want more details, where can they find all of that information?
On our website is probably the best way. We update everything on the website. It's very accurate for all intents purposes. It's a great tool. You can go on and find out what phase you're in, roughly when you can expect to be hooked up. And we have, traffic updates and detour updates. So that's a great tool to go on and find out, day to day what's happening.
I know we share those detour and traffic updates on our social media,
Yep.
and it's been very helpful, I think, to the public just to let them know what's coming next week, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, a great way to go and get the most up-to-date information. And then if there's any questions that come off of that, then I'm certainly available to help answer those.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully you've shed some light on this project and people have learned something and they've gotten a takeaway. Before we leave today, we like to do something fun at the end of every podcast.
Great.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of rapid fire questions, Cape style, if you want to play.
Sounds good. I'm up for it.
All right, real quick. Lobster roll, hot or cold?
Hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toasted?
Toasted with butter.
Okay.
Love it.
Chowder, thick or thin?
Thin.
Okay. That surprises me.
Yeah, I like kind of a thinner chowder.
Okay. Yarmouth Beach, which is the best one?
Seagull Beach.
Okay.
We've been there a few times. It's a great spot to be in the summer.
Summer on the Cape or fall on the Cape?
I prefer the fall. I think the fall is just great weather. It still allows you plenty of opportunities outside, and it's a little less busy.
I think a lot of people that live here full time would agree with the fall.
The summer is great, but
Right.
I think the fall is the best.
Favorite Yarmouth event?
The St. Patrick's Day Parade is always a great take here.
That's mine too.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time.
And the last one, which is my favorite, hidden talent?
Well, surprisingly enough, I'm not a bad cook, Lori, so I'm a pretty good cook. I don't like the cleaning aspect, but I do enjoy cooking.
What's your dish? What's your go-to?
Linguine with white clam sauce. I do pretty good.
All right.
Comes out quite nice.
I like it. Well, thank you again for joining us. And for everybody listening, if you need to get in touch with Ryan, you can call him at the Water Department, or you can email him at rchase@yarmouth.ma.us. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to keep watching. You can follow us on our website, our YouTube channel, Channel 8, and our social media. And you can find us anywhere that you get your podcast. Until next time.